Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back to All for United. We're here for another match day. Yes, you've got me on this screen instead of Temi. I know, you're all heartbroken, but you get me, the wonderful Karthik. I'm glad to be joining you all again for another pre-game, and this is a very exciting one. It's Derby Day after all, and Derby Days are always special. So get in the comments, let me know how you're feeling ahead of this one. Are you excited? Are you confident? Are you nervous? Are you worried? Let me know what you think. And also, while you're here, make us very happy by hitting that 20 like target, because as always it does help the channel grow, and every single one of you are absolute legends. But yes, today Carabao Cup semi-final. Yesterday obviously we saw Tottenham beat Brentford, so there's a potential reunion with Jose Mourinho at Wembley up for grabs. And let me tell you, that's one game that I want to be involved in, and that's one game that I want to win more than anything else. As fun as it would be to get maybe a Brighton and win the tournament that way, beating a Mourinho team, and a Mourinho that doesn't usually lose League Cup finals, doesn't usually lose finals, would be an incredible achievement. And of course, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs a trophy, so winning this game takes us that one step closer. And let's not forget as well, big difference tonight is there's no second leg. It's all going to be settled tonight. So make sure we get a good performance in. I mean, if the last derby is anything to go by, we sort of saw City come into it showing us an awful lot of respect, which I didn't expect at all, because they've got a fantastic team. They're probably still one of the favourites to win the league. Let's be honest, other than us, obviously. But you don't expect that kind of a City team to come to Old Trafford and almost be cautious. You expect them to sort of bring the game to you, and I think we sort of saw a game at Old Trafford where either team could have won it, and United probably could have done a bit more, and that was a weird feeling going out of that game. So today, what can we expect? I don't know. Pep's going on about not having enough players. Well, maybe you should tell your players to follow the rules then. Maybe it's a load of shit. He will have enough players. I mean, they had a game postponed because they couldn't play Aguero, for fuck's sake. He could find any old excuse. And you know what? There's bound to be more City fans complaining when we win a penalty and, Bruno puts it away today. But, it's City. City are always going to be moaning. We're not too far away from the team news. It should be out in another 5 minutes, and I'll bring in our first guest. But let's get into the comments. Let's see what you're thinking. I've already seen one comment that I really do not want to bring up, but I'll bring it up anyway. 6-1 City, let's go. This is clearly a troll account. Why the fuck are you watching the United fan channel, mate? Well, why are you here? Like the video, because why not? Ashley Peters is on Facebook. Wait, what are you doing on Facebook? Why do I have to tell every person? Every stream, there's someone on Facebook. Come on, man. That's not where the party is. Head over to youtube.com/AllForUnited. Come join us over there. Make sure to drop a like on the video as well. That's where all the action is. But thank you for joining us. Winning 2-1, says Ashley. I hope so, mate. I hope so. Mark's in the comments. He'll be on later in the show. Smash a like, people. He says, listen to Mark. Mark is uber cool. And what he says is usually in fashion, so make sure to like. Stuart in the comments. Evening. I'm excited so up for this. I'm glad people are positive about this, I'm glad people are looking forward to it, because it's been a long time since we can go into a Manchester derby feeling, ready for it and confident that we can get a result. Because I don't exactly fear City at this moment in time. Now that might be stupid. That might be overconfident. It might be, I don't know, naive. But I don't fear City, because we're traditionally good in these big games under Ole, and I fancy our chances in this one. Let me know what you guys think. Am I chatting shit? Do you agree with me? Let me know. Paul's in the comments on Twitter. He says, channel? All for United. What a strange question. Yeah, it's allforunited.com. Allforunited.com? I mean, I'm sure that is a website as well. We do loads of great articles on there. But it's youtube.com/allforunited. You can tell that I'm excited. Mark's just kissing up to me. He wants me to bring him on first. Talking sense, he says. It's very rare that someone tells me I'm talking sense, but they are. Stuart says, we're in form, nothing to fear. I like that attitude. I really do. Talking points ahead of this one. Who do you think is going to line up in midfield? Because I'm predicting a McTominay Fred, but Mark's in the comments, he himself showed us the last time he was on with me on a show that that's not even our most successful midfield partnership. It's actually Matic and Pogba. Will that be the combination we see in midfield? I'm interested to know what you guys think. In terms of me personally, I think we could see Ole go for this a little bit more. I don't know if he'll start with a back five, but I think we'll start a bit, I don't want to say gung-ho, because that's not what we're going to do. But I feel like we will try to take the game to them a little bit. I feel like we can play a Pogba in this game and maybe sit him next to a Matic. Let's be a bit more positive, because City are not an easy team to play against, but by no means are they impossible to beat. I don't think we need to be too negative in this one. We just need to be set up in a way that we recognise we're not going to have the ball. Let's not try and play out from the back, because we saw the last time they came here in the League Cup that they rinsed us with pressing us. They just matched us up 4-on-4. So let's not do that. Let's not try and give them that opportunity to press, but let's accept that we're not going to have the ball. Let's try and counter it. It's simple. It's not. No, you don't need to overcomplicate it, in my opinion. But let me know what you think. 4-4-2. 4-4-2. The days of that are long gone, I'm afraid. I don't know if we're going to be playing 4-4-2, but we do tend to press in almost a 4-4-2. We tend to push the wingers up a little bit. And it's what I like about United these days is we're a bit more fluid in what we do on the ball and off the ball. So you never know how we're going to set up, and just because we set up in a certain way on paper doesn't mean that's how we're going to go. But yeah, you're right. It could be a diamond. Could be a diamond. David's got a question. You think City will try and take it to us like their match against Chelsea, or sit deep again? You know what? That's an interesting question, because they chose to go to Chelsea and go for them, but they decided to show us a lot of respect and sit off us a little bit. So it's an interesting one. Does Pep learn from that and go, you know what, actually, this time I will, be a bit more positive? Or will we see him sit off a little bit again and go, you know what, actually, we're not going to take any risks. We're going to sit off them, let them have the ball. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Robin in the comments says he's just found this channel of ours. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the family, Robin. This is All for United. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you head over to youtube.com/All for United. Subscribe. Make sure to like the video. All that jazz. What else are we saying then? Said on Twitter earlier I could see James starting. Interesting, maybe. I'd like to see him up front. Now, that might sound like a weird thing to say, but I don't mind him up front if we're going to play the five at the back. Stick James up front, get him running onto the end of some long balls. Do you know what I mean? Get a bit trendy with it. There's loads of you watching on Twitter. All of you, head over to YouTube. What are you doing? Get on YouTube now. What are you doing? We're going to bring in our first guest in just about a minute, as the team news is about to come in. So get ready for that. Make sure to like the video. Who do you want on first? We've got 3 fantastic guests. Maybe we should do a voting system. I see them in the backstage. They're all wondering, oh, am I going to get picked? It's going to be me. It's going to be me. Maybe we should have the comments vote for who gets on first. That would be interesting. That also might be a bit mean. It's a bit of fun, though, isn't it? I'm just refreshing the page to see when this lineup will come in. I think we're about a minute away. But, yeah, tell me what you guys think is going to be the lineup. Who do you want to be brought in first? Let's try it. Who do you want to come in? Who do you want to come in? You've got Mark Hammer and Connor. Let's see who they vote for. This isn't mean. No, we're not doing that. I'll bring in you. I was just going to bring in originally. Hey. Oh, okay, right then. We have our first vote. Mark says Surprise. Fluid to 4-2-1-3. Isn't that not what we play anyway? Well, it sort of is. It is when we press anyway. There's loads of formations going on in the chat here. We could also go for a 4-3-1-2 with a 4-4-2 and also 4-2-1-3. Try and work that one out. Right, it's just gone 6:45, so the lineup should be in any minute now. So I'm going to refresh my page, and hopefully the team news should be here. It is big news straight away. Dean Henderson is in goal for United with a back four of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Victor Lindelof, Luke Shaw. No, there's no 3 at the back. It's the back 4 in it. So it's going to be Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw at left back. The midfield is Scott McTominay, Paul Pogba, Fred, Bruno Fernandes, with Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial up front. Now, this could be a diamond. It could be a 4-2-3-1. We've had this conversation before. We're going to bring in our first guest. It is Mark. Mark, how are you doing, mate?
I'm very good, mate. I'm really pleased with that lineup. And you know what? In reference to Chema Toast, I'm sorry if that's wrong, but that's what I'm going with. What he means is, so if you start with a diamond, which looks like it is, there is the opportunity to play a 4-2-1-3 1-3. So what will happen is, and I think we've seen this a lot more, where Pogba will move up to the left wing position. So McTominay and Fred in this instance, I thought Matic would start, will be able to play as a two, and therefore Pogba will be able to move up. Now, I'm pleased with this. I would have preferred to see Matic only because his passing range is far, far better. We've seen this with Scott McTominay a lot. He likes to play sideways or backwards. Now, with Matic, Fred, and Pogba, we're able to get the ball to the channels, play some longer range pass, and usually 9 times out of 10 it will probably get to their man. So I am very pleased with the lineup. And I'm hoping that we can essentially what we need to do. Ollie needs to be bold today. He does need to start on the front foot, and I think that with this, um, these players that are going to be starting, that gives us that ability, and I think we need to swamp the midfield. Too many times in the past where we have shut them out is where we've had a few more players in the middle in order to gain possession, close them down quickly, and then utilize the channels. And that's where I think that Pogba will go from playing sort of like in the double pivot, slightly further forward to the left wing position, which he's done in the last few games. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that lineup. I'm not surprised to see Luke Shaw. I think to Karthik's frustration to a certain degree, he's been a vital, vital player, and I think that this is going to be a perfect game for him to be able to stop. Okay, so with Man City, they don't tend to play through the middle, especially against United. I think we've seen that in the past. They like to play down the channels, and particularly on the right-hand side. Therefore, if Luke Shaw's there, who we know is good defensively, few frailties at times, that will give us that sort of security in order to stop them from doing that. One thing I just want to say as well, briefly, is that I think the other night, and with the game that we played against them a few weeks ago, um, proved a huge point because I think against Chelsea, Pep wanted to set up to go at them on the front foot because he's not concerned about them counter-attacking. Without obviously I'm biased, but United are probably, if not the one of the best in the league at counter-attacking, and consequently he showed us a lot more respect. They both set up very defensively because they were scared about potentially getting counter-attacked. And Man City are also very good at that. So I think against Chelsea, it proved a huge point in the fact that they weren't able to counter-attack. So he was able to set up in the way that he did and go at them. And then they got 3 goals up within the first half. Yeah. So I'm pleased with this lineup. I just hope that they are ready to go. They infuse some of that aggression and passion into this derby, and we start on the front foot, put them on the back foot, and we get the result that we should get.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think a real talking point is going to be. I mean, I haven't seen the City lineup yet, so I can't really tell. I'm going to actually look for it now while I'm talking. Um, in terms of what you said with regards to City showing us a lot of respect last time they came here. Now, will they do the same thing tonight? I don't know. Oh, hang on, sorry. City team has just come in on my inbox now. Someone sent it to me. Can't remember who. Whoever that was. Shout out to you. They've got Stefan in goal. I believe at right back they've got Cancelo. Centre backs are Diaz and Stones. Zinchenko lines up at left back for them. The midfield looks pretty strong. It's Fernandinho and Gundogan, with De Bruyne, Mahrez, and Foden up ahead of them, with Sterling probably playing in that false nine role. So it is a strong City team.
Mm.
So going off that, Mark, are they setting up to sit off us a little bit, or are they going to go for us?
Well, looking at that, I think with Fernandinho, I mean Gundogan, is he more? I don't really pay attention to their players, if I'm honest with you. Is he more of an attacking player, or does he sit back?
He sits off a little bit. Usually brings others into play, so it'll
So,
be
so like
a
a
link.
Fred role, really, give
Yeah,
or take. Okay, so well, with that, they might be sort of starting, potentially quite similar. They're not probably looking to sit back. I think that with one holding midfielder of Fernandinho, they're probably looking to push Gundogan forward. And who else was in the midfield? De Bruyne, obviously.
yeah.
But with track record, with Sterling playing as a false nine against us, that hasn't really come up dividends. So I'm really hoping that we'll be able to shut him out and Aaron Wan-Bissaka have him in his pocket again, which would be lovely. I'm giving it the big one tonight, and I apologise for that, but I am genuinely confident tonight. I feel that obviously City have come into their own recently. And obviously United are playing very well, and they've gone against the grain on a number of things that that we've sort of ridiculed them for. And I genuinely believe that if we start well, obviously you need to start well. I really feel that we can get a result out of this. I genuinely believe that Pep, without sounding arrogant, is a little bit more afraid than Ollie is tonight. I genuinely believe that.
Pep is a little bit more afraid. That's what I wanted to hear. On the Sterling thing, though, I think there is a point to be made there about Pep playing him in the middle tonight instead of out wide, because his track record against us when he's played out wide against Wan-Bissaka has been so poor.
Yeah.
Do you think, he might have a better game playing in the middle, or do you think because he's not the same kind of player as maybe a Ferran Torres is playing in that position, or someone with a bit better link-up play. I think Sterling has got a lot to his game, but I don't think his hold-up play is the same, and I don't think his finishing's there. So I don't think playing him through the middle is his best suit. But what do you think of that decision? And do you think maybe that might give Wan-Bissaka a bit more of a tough task dealing with a different
Who's playing on the left? Who was playing on the left?
I believe that would be Foden, because that's what they did last time.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, Foden. I think it's going to test Wan-Bissaka a bit. I think Mahrez will be playing on the right. Generally speaking, obviously he's not played too much recently. I feel that they will try to go down that right-hand channel more through Mahrez, and then he will be trying to get the ball into the box for Sterling and Foden. You're absolutely right. Sterling's hold-up play isn't Martial's, and that could go against them a little bit. But I guess it's always tricky to really be able to. I mean, hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? It would be lovely to know exactly how they're going to play, but I think that those three will be very, very interchangeable, and that could potentially cause some problems. Great to see Lindelof back. It's a real shame that Bailly's not started. I'm quite shocked by that. That could cause us problems too. We've said this on a number of occasions recently that Lindelof and Maguire don't complement each other, whereas Bailly does, and I'm a little bit disappointed not to see him. But then again, the last few times we've played them, I don't think Bailly has had too much say in that, and we've managed to keep them out. I think with Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw, who are both quick on the insides, they will try and cut inside. Hopefully they can keep their position in and they don't cut inside and put anyone out of place. So we'll have to see. But hopefully we just got to start quickly. We've just got to, like every other game, you have to start quickly, and we've seen that more in the last few weeks, and it's put people under pressure. If we can do that, they are there for the taking. Absolutely.
100%. Mark, thank you for joining us. Before I send you off, last minute thoughts, score prediction, and goal scorers.
Yeah, it's going to be a cagey one. I can't see that anybody is gonna run riot at all. I think it will be very cagey. I think they'll be very apprehensive, and I think you'll probably see that for the first 30 minutes. Obviously, I'm going to go with the United win, and I do genuinely believe that tonight. I think Ollie has to be bold tonight. He has to really think about his tactics, which he has done on many occasions, and I really think that we will get a 2-1 win, as long as we start on the front foot. And with that, I'm going to say, because I want him to score, and because I feel that his confidence is certainly improved recently, Martial for the first goal scorer.
Lovely, lovely stuff. Everyone, go and follow Mark on Twitter. He's absolutely fantastic. I'm sure he'll whack it in the comments afterwards. Thanks for joining us, Mark, and we'll see you soon.
You're more than welcome, mate. Thank you very much.
Right, guys, that was our first guest. We've got 2 more guests coming up, but before that, I want you to smash that like button. Let's see how much we're on already. But hey, what do you guys think of the team? Let's get to your comments in a second. While I quickly check how many likes we're on. We are on 13, so let's get those last 7 likes to hit our target, and maybe even more than that. Let's have another good match day, Reds? Let's have another one. Let's have a look at your comments then. I believe Temi's in the comments. He's put in the team, but I've already beaten you to it, Temi. There's a nice little graphic at the bottom because I'm on it. Ben loves me for doing that. He's never said that at all in his life, but whatever. Stuart says strong lineup. He's loving it. Good stuff. Good stuff. Ashley agrees with Mark. He might have liked to see Bailly in there. Maybe that's a tactical thing. Maybe he's resting him for the weekend. Who knows? Who knows? City team asked Stuart. I've just read it out, but I'll read it out again. Stefan in goal. Back four of Cancelo, Diaz, Stones, and Zinchenko. The midfield two is Fernandinho and Gundogan, with Kevin De Bruyne, Riyad Mahrez, and Phil Foden up ahead of him, and Raheem Sterling starts up front for them. The subs for City are Trafford, I assume as a goalkeeper, Walker, Jesus, Aguero, Rodri, Mendy, I think that's Lucas Nemecha, I think it is, Harwood Bellis, and Mbete. I've not heard of those two, but I know of... I know that might be Felix Nemecha, not Lucas Nemecha. Whatever, we don't care about him. United's team's already on your screen, but I'll give you the subs. David De Gea, Alex Telles, Eric Bailly is on the bench, Axel Tuanzebe, Daniel James, Juan Mata, Nemanja Matic, Donny van der Beek, and Mason Greenwood. So it is a pretty strong subs bench as well, if you think about it. Got options there to change the game if we need to. Let's see what else the comments are saying. Reese is here. Walker, Jesus, Aguero, all named on the bench, as is Mendy. Yes, thank you, Reese. I just read it out. Thank you very much. Taking chances is a must tonight. They're not going to give up many. Need to be clinical. 100%. We have to be clinical. That first chance needs to be a shot on target. Otherwise, I can just tell it's going to be one of those days. Reese says, changing Sterling's position doesn't seem to help. He has a mental inferiority against Man United. Imagine if he was that rattled to play against us. Imagine if that was the case. I don't think that is the case, but we'll see. All for United, this is an owl wishing you good luck. Who? Like the video if you like that joke. Come on. You've got to give me credit for that. Give me some credit. I will miss Edison Cavani. Edison. I personally miss Edinson Cavani, but whatever. They are playing two holding mids again. Ole has Pep rattled. I don't think Gundogan is as negative as you think he is. He will play a part in bringing the ball forward. Keep hustling, mate. This 20 likes banner will change to 20,000 in a short while. Jesus Christ, Sidesh. I hope so anyway. It wouldn't be hard to change it. It's a little K on the end, isn't it? It's a little K. Rattled like Klopp. Yes, Mark, I love it. Absolutely love it. Right, let's bring in our next guest then. All the way from the States, here comes Hammer. Hammer, how are you doing, mate? He's been in my messages for weeks now, asking me to get him on a show. He's here now. How you doing, mate? I cannot hear you. What's going on? Hang on, I think your mic's muted. Let me sort you out. There you go. Speak now.
I'm doing all right, man. Sounds good?
Yeah, all good. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm liking that team, man. I was hoping for something like that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm liking the positivity in it, mainly because, you know, he could have gone with the defensive, but he, you know, has Pogba and Bruno and all of them in there together. So, you know, I'm expecting something good out of this game.
Do you think we should have rotated a little bit more than we did? Or do you reckon go full strength as it is? Because let's face it, we're in a title race. We've got loads of games coming up. We've got the FA Cup as well. Would this been a case of we have to prioritise certain competitions? Or do you think, no, just go and try and win every game?
I think he could have gone that way, but I was expecting him to go with a strong team, mainly because one is against City, and it's to get into a final. You know, I know it's not the FA Cup and things like that, but it's still to get into a final. So I'm not surprised that he went with the strong team, and I think he did a little bit of rotation. And I think you said before too, the reason why not be seeing Bailly is maybe he's saving him for the weekend. So I think that's what's going on there.
Yeah, no, fair play. We'll get into some of the comments as well. Keep them coming in. First of all, Ben, I'm amazing at the jokes, right? Okay, let's just stop that. Enough of that. I've always wanted to do that, but I can't believe I just did that on camera. Obviously, our bench is still strong. Which of those subs do you think Ollie can go to change the game? Because we've got a Dan James if you want to inject some pace. We've got Donny van der Beek, of course. We've got Mason Greenwood. And do you think any of those should have started, or do you sort of agree with the team that he's put out tonight?
Maybe Mason or, like you said, Dan up front. You know, I was expecting Rashford or Martial to start, but yeah, maybe he could have done the same thing with the Bailly and rotated. But, you know, I think if we need it, it's still an amazing option. You know, I think something that's been getting talked about on here is how good the depth has changed in our bench. So it's another reason I wasn't really worried, because even if he decided to rest, which he didn't fully, and bring somebody on if we needed to at the end, he can still do it. Still do that option with the depth that we have.
No, fair play. No, it is a mad thing now that we've got this level of depth. I mean, I saw a picture last week of it said we went from this, which was, I think it was Lingard getting subbed off for Andres Pereira, and then it said to this, and it was a picture of Van der Beek coming on for Bruno, and I was just like, incredible. Temi's in the comments. He says he's screaming. Oh dear. Ben's going to get that turned into a GIF or something, or a GIF, however you pronounce it. I don't give a shit anymore. Whatever. Sound. I mean, there's more embarrassing things being posted of me on the internet. If any of you have been on Twitter today and seen the absolute disgrace, and you know what? I'm not even going to give it the time of day. I'm not going to talk about it. There's a very dodgy video of me doing the rounds on Twitter today, and I don't want to talk about it. It involves me and a golf club. Let's just leave it at that. I could see Connor laughing in the backstage. You must have seen it. Reese is in the comments. He's mentioned a big point here: 5 subs. How important do you think that's going to be? Because obviously in the previous round, I don't know if we had it. I think we might have done. No, I don't think we did. 5 subs for the semi, 5 subs for the final. Do you think that's going to make a big difference in terms of both teams? Because we both have strong benches. What do you think?
I mean, I think part of it depends on how the game's going, right? Like, if it's a game where one team ends up gaining some control, they're not going to use all their 5 subs. But, it's definitely something that will change the way Ole and Pep are going to think about how they're going to approach the game. They're going to, I think, like we said, I think Mark talked about it too. It looks like Pep's going for it as well. So they're both going for the final. And if the game is at a deadlock, then yeah, the 5 subs are going to come into play, and it'll just have to come down on who has the better timing and which players are going to end up impacting if they do come on.
Fair play. Good comment here from Stuart. Nice to see a new face. Yes, Hammer's here. He's here. He's enjoying his time here so far. Hang on a minute. You need to explain further than just you and a golf club. Yes, that is very true. I could have phrased that a little better. The golf club was being held by me outside of my body. That's the important part eliminated. Okay, it was just me holding it. And you know what? Just never mind. Let's just leave. I need to stop giving this the time of day. Reese says, "Hope the golf club is safe. It is safe. It is clean. It's sanitized. Don't worry." I don't know what's going on. This pre-game's just gone off the rails. Yeah. In terms of City, then, what do you think about their lineup? Are you worried? Because there's a lot of fans that will say, Pep's Pep. You've got to be worried when he's coming against you. And some will say, well, we're in good form and we shouldn't fear anyone. Which side do you stand on?
I am definitely on the latter side. I think Temi made a post and he was saying he's a little nervous, but I commented, I'm just chilling. I think we're in really good form, and obviously City's not in like shit form, obviously. But sorry about that. But
mate, don't even worry about swearing. Have you not seen the amount I swear on this channel? Jesus Christ. Anyway, carry on.
No, yeah. I think I'm on the confident side. I'm not worried about City right now. They're not in terrible form, but they're not in amazing form either. And I think just the run that we've been going on, the team is.
Your mic's just cut out, I think.
Sorry.
You good?
That,
Yeah, go. You're good. Oh, and he's disappeared. Right, what's going on there? I don't know. We've lost Hammer for some reason, and I think it might have something to do with this comment. 20 likes, and Karthik will play the video of him in a golf club. Jesus Christ. How many likes are we on right now? Oh, shit, we're on 18. Okay, we're going to just casually gloss over that comment. That didn't happen. Hammer's disappeared, so I suppose we'll have to bring on our next guest whenever unless we bring him back in. Hopefully he does come back in. But we'll see. Anyway, comments. Let me know what you're thinking then. Do you think he was right to say that we should be confident going into this one? Do you think he was chatting shit? Tell him now to his face, because he's back in the stream, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, okay, right. Carry on with the thought. I think you're talking about how we need to be confident going into this with the form we're in.
Yeah, we're in good form, and I think the players have a lot of confidence. And just like with the Bailly thing, the last game, the energy around the club too. I'm not somebody who likes to worry about opposition and things like that. Like obviously you respect them because you know what they can do. But I think right now it's two top clubs in top form and good form, and they're going to go at it. And I think I have the confidence with my team and the players that we have, especially with the lineup that we did. Because like I said before, we could have gone with a more laid back lineup, but it looks like we went with a lineup that's going to go for goals and go for the win. So,
how confident are you then that we can go and win this game? Because again, it's all good saying we can be confident that we'll win it, but how confident do you think you are in terms of Ollie getting it tactically right? Because that's still going to be the big part of this. Before I even ask that question, I should probably say, when we played them in the league, do you think he got it tactically right then? Or do you think there could be something that we could change with this?
I think that's always a question with Ole, because you don't know what type of thing he's going to go at, and how he's going to try to surprise people. I think that's why, you guys like to call him, the tricky Reds and stuff like that. But I think if he gets it tactically right, I think he will, mainly because he went with players who. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out how I want to put this. I'm not sure how I'm trying to.
I'll tell you what you're trying to say. You're trying to say that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a better manager than Pep Guardiola, and Pep Guardiola is a ball fraud who is a checkbook manager, and Ole will wipe the floor with him tonight, and we're going to win the 21st title. That's what you're going for, weren't you, Hammer?
Something along those lines.
Yeah. We're on a wavelength here. No, honestly, you've spoken really well so far. Fantastic to have you on. We'll definitely get you on even more. Before you get going, then score prediction, first goal scorer, and any final thoughts that you have before the game starts.
Yeah, man. Again, I still have the respect for opposition teams, especially ones at the top of the table. So I'm not going to try to say it's going to be a goal fest, but I do think we're going to win. I think it's going to be 2-1. And I think, Mark said Martial. I have something's in me saying that Rashford's going to get that first goal. And I would obviously love to see a Bruno penalty to seal it, just to see people's heads spin.
Man, you've just said you've just given me the correct answer. A Marcus Rashford goal and a Bruno penalty. That is how we win this game. Mate, thank you so much for joining us. Everyone follow Hammer on Twitter. It's at Hammer United. I'm sure he'll whack it in the comments, and we'll see more of him on the channel. Great debut from you, mate. Nice to see you.
Thank you for having me. See you.
Right, that was Hammer. Fantastic little debut from him there. I hope you all show him some love. We've got one final guest coming up. Before that, I want you all to like the video. I will not be playing the golf club video, so don't do it for that purpose. Ben, stop encouraging people in the comments. That's not going to happen. I'm seeing a lot of golf club related jokes. There's Reese that's asking, was it a 9-9 or a driver? It was a driver. Mark says it was a wood. And then Reese says, that must be wedged. I'll give you that. Well done. We'll give you that. Well done. It is not wedged. It is perfectly happy outside of any orifices of any kind. Temi's loving Hammer's debut here. Everyone's loving it, to be honest. Hammer, mate, well done. You can be proud of yourself for that one, and I'm sure we'll get you back. There was a tweet that I saw with someone pretending to be an owl, but that guy's disappeared. But here's Mark going, what a hoot from Owl. It's full of jokes. Ben, if he doesn't play, you post. Whoa, no, because I know what he'll do. He'll retweet it from the All for United account, and I don't want that page getting that kind of exposure. Let's not do that. Why are we talking about this video? Right, we've got another guest on. I'm bringing Connor in because I need to be saved. Connor, mate, save me. Where are you? Why can't I see you? What's going on? Right, Connor's fucked somehow. I can't see him. Connor, you need to leave and come back in. I don't know what's up with you. I'm going to bring in Mark because he needs to save me. Mark, help me because all of our guests are disappearing.
There's no help for you, mate. Let me tell you. Okay, come at me. What you got for me, and I'll answer. Go for it.
Right, I'm going to ask you a very serious question now. If we win today, and we were to reach our first final under Ollie. No, it's not our first final. It's our second final. How confident would you be beating Tottenham? And how much of a difference would it be winning the Carabao Cup?
It would be a huge moment. I said the other night that I feel this is ultimately his biggest game since being in charge, really, Champions League aside. And I think in order to break his duck, he needs to get past this, and it would be a huge thing. We've got a winning mentality from a few players. Obviously, David De Gea. Don't talk about Phil Jones. Pogba's one with France, and a couple of others. Matic with Chelsea. And but what I said the other night was, if they are able to do this as a new unit, because when you're in a different group of players, it's a whole different ball game. Excuse the pun. But fundamentally, if they are able to get this winning mentality and get through one of the biggest rivals, and get to a final, which is progress on last year, that would be a huge, huge thing for the team. And I feel that would be enough momentum for us to go in and hopefully win a final. I mean, Spurs aren't in the best of form. It would have been nice to have played Brentford.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that didn't happen. Unfortunate with the goal that was disallowed. But I really feel that Spurs are there for the taking, and the thing for me at the moment is we didn't expect to be joint top at this stage. It was only in November when we felt things weren't going very well, and how are we supposed to claw this back? But we are in this position. Now, at the same time, we don't want to take it for granted. We need to be pragmatic, and we need to continue as we are, and hopefully by March we can then step it up a bit and start to get some belief. But ultimately, things can change so much until that point. And I think because of that reason, the EFL will very much be a big priority for Ollie. And I think that he will continue to try and win these games. And if we can get through this game, which is a rivalry, which is a derby, and against potentially the favourites, I think that would be a huge, huge elation for the United team and Ollie.
Definitely, 100%. What Mark is saying there is we're going to become energy drink champions of the world. I believe Connor is ready, so I'm going to knock Mark out of this for a minute, but thank you for the backup. And we're going to bring in Connor, who I believe is now alive.
Yes, sorry, don't know what happened
there. He's alive, and he's finished laughing at me and my golf club. How you doing, mate, and how are you feeling ahead of this game?
Yes, pretty confident. I think the guys have been spot on with pretty much everything they've said. This is the first Manchester derby in quite a while where I think we've gone in as favourites, really. I think we can all admit for the past few years we've gone into Manchester derbies thinking, how are we going to beat City? This is the first time, and this might come back to bite me on the ass, but this is the first time I'm thinking, no, screw that. How are they going to beat us? We're in such good form right now. They need to try and work a way of breaking us down, because we've been defensively quite solid against City over the last few games, and we saw it a few weeks ago in the league. And I think that's why I think a lot of the guys have said already that's why we've gone with that team again. It seemed to work. I'm not a massive fan of the diamond, so I hope it isn't a diamond. It's not so much for the midfield. I just don't think Rashford and Martial can play as a front two. When they seem to play together in that front two role, whether it's a diamond or whatever else it might be, it seems to be they get a bit greedy in front of goal, and we could score a lot more goals or create a lot more chances if they just looked up a bit more to each other. So I'm not a massive fan of the diamond, but if it works to control the midfield, we'll get chances against this City team. They leak chances all the time anyway. And with the players that we've got, the likes of Pogba and Fernandes, Rashford, Martial, and so on going forward, we can easily break this City team down. So very confident going into this one.
Hey, I don't blame you for being confident. I'm just surprised you thought we were favourites, because that's a big statement to make. I'm going to see what Twitter thinks of that. No, in terms of the system, I know you said you don't really like the diamond. We all know what my thoughts on the diamond are. I absolutely hate it. That's a fucking lie. In terms of that, then, because it might not be a diamond, because we've seen Ollie likes to play a bit more fluid now in possession. We tend to see different, I don't want to say different shapes within one shape, because that begins to go into Inception level thoughts. But it is almost that, where we decide the shape based on a certain situation. Like sometimes we'll see, I don't know, a 4 going forward to press, and sometimes we'll just have a little diamond in midfield to keep possession, and then we'll spread out into a 4 up front, just a flat 4. So it is more fluid. If it is a similar 4-2-3-1, with Pogba on the left. What do you make of that? Because a lot of people have different opinions on this, and I think Pogba on the left is a decent little option, and he does a little job there. But I don't know how sustainable it is to be playing him out there. What are your thoughts on Pogba playing on the left?
He can play there. I think we've seen that in the last few games. Whether people have got their own opinions, whether he's just playing because he wants to get a move, or whether he's this is the quality that he possesses out on the left hand side, I'm still a bit unsure on. I think a lot of people are on where his best position is. He can definitely play there. His link up with Martial, especially when Martial's down the middle, is quite good, and he links up obviously well with Fernandes because they can both keep the ball very well and progress it forward. My worry obviously is when we come up against good sides, Pogba's tracking back is not to the highest level, and certainly not to the rest of the team standards. That's probably why you're seeing McTominay and Fred again to cover those positions, and why you're seeing Luke Shaw, because I think if you have Alex Telles behind Pogba, the how advanced Telles goes will be massively open on that left hand side. So he links to play quite well going forward. It's just a bit of a worry on that left hand side defensively, which is something that you get better when you've got Rashford on the left hand side.
Definitely, and you know what? There will be mixed comments about that Paul Pogba thing, because Paul Pogba could post a picture of his fucking breakfast on Instagram and people would have a debate about it. It's just pointless. Question to whoever the fuck that is, Mark and the chat. Do you think that's not how you spell my name, Reese? That's what I was getting at. Do you think if we lose tonight, this team will develop a mental block towards trophies once it gets to the near final stages? I'll let you answer first then, Connor.
No, that was one of the things I had written down. I think the reason why Ollie's chosen such a strong side, obviously we lost 3 semi-finals last year. I'm pretty sure that he knows if he loses another semi-final, I'm sure he's getting the questions pre-match today. And I'm sure if we lose tonight, he'll be getting the same questions asked again, that it's going to be a mental block. And we don't want that going forward. Obviously, we're unfortunately in the Europa League and the FA Cup. If we get to the latter rounds in that, we don't want to be coming up against this block when we get into the semi-finals and potentially onto the final as well. So, yeah, I think that's why he shows such a strong side. So we do need to get over this mental hurdle, certainly after the last 3 semi-finals last year. Obviously, the Sevilla one was a bit more unlucky, but the other 2 were dire performances.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with the thing that it can form mental block. And last season we said, getting to 3 semi-finals, great progress, fantastic. But now we need to turn at least one of them into a final and hopefully one of them into a trophy. I'd like to see us reach one final at least this season and win it. If we were to get to a final and lose it, I think that's the same as losing a semi-final. I don't see it as, we got to a final, we got to, I mean, it's one of those, it is progress getting to a final and losing, but I'd like us to go and win it. And I think if we do get to a final, I fancy this team to win it, because I think in a one-off game, we've seen already, against the very big teams, against the toughest sides out there, we can put performance in. But that's just what I think. We'll see what the comments have to say about it. I agree with Mark's. Oh, there's another comment that I need to look for. I can't find it. There we go. Here it is. I disagree with the front 2. Greenwood and Rashford, yes, but Martial and Rashford should be fine. Anything to say on that?
Yes, I think it is more obvious with Greenwood and Rashford, but I do think Rashford and Martial also do it as well. Maybe not as often as Rashford and Greenwood, but they certainly have a slight greed. And you do need that with attacking players at times. We see the top strikers in the world are greedy in front of goal, but when we're playing the system we like to play with, the fast attacking football, I think more Rashford, I think, than Martial sometimes just needs to look up a little bit more.
Fair play. I think Cavani would have been a good pick for this one. I think we will miss him. I'd love to have had him start today. How big a miss do you think Cavani's going to be tonight?
Yeah, like we just said there, I think we lack a proper number 9. I'm still not convinced that either Martial or Rashford can play down the middle. I think Martial is better down the middle because he can link the play a lot better than Rashford can with his back to goal, and he likes to drop in a bit deeper and help the play develop from there. But I think we do lack a proper number 9. We saw it against Southampton, those goals that he scored to win us that game. I don't think any of our other attacking players get on the end of that or make that kind of attacking run. And it just offers us something a little bit different. We have a bit more of an aerial threat, a bit more of a vocal point, and someone whose attacking intelligence is obviously far in excess of what we've got. That's just down to experience and just his quality as well. But it's going to be a big loss. It's noticeable when he's not playing. I'm not saying he should start every game because I don't think he should, but it is definitely a loss, and it just gives you that other option as well. Like Greenwood and James on the bench, they're nice to have, and it's definitely a better bench than we've had before, but they're very similar players to Rashford and Martial.
No, 100%. I do agree with you with that one. I don't think either of them are pure number 9s. I think Martial's the closest thing to being a number 9 because of the way he's developed his game recently. But neither of them are pure number 9s. And I think Cavani would have been a big say. It would have had a big say in tonight's game. But no, yeah, thanks for coming on. We're going to wrap up the show soon. So before you go, give us your score prediction and goal scorers.
As I said at the start, I'm quite confident. I think 2-0 is probably the scoreline I'm going to go with. I think, yes, they looked good against Chelsea, but I think no one was really talking about how poor Chelsea were. Everyone was just raving about how good City were. City were good for about half an hour, maybe 40 minutes of that game. I think we've got enough defensively to keep them out, so I'm going to go 2-0. And I think the goal scorers, I'm going to go with one of the centre-halves, Maguire or Lindelof, and I think Rashford as well.
Go on, then we'll have a little slab head goal in front of the Stretford end, an empty Stretford end. No, genuinely, thanks for coming on. This has been a fantastic to have you on. Everyone, make sure to go and follow Connor. As long as he's not retweeting any kind of controversial video of mine, he'll be fine to follow. Thanks for joining us, Connor, mate. We'll see you in a bit.
No worries. See you soon.
Right, guys, you're stuck with me for the last few minutes of this show then. Thank you for joining us, of course. Before you go, do not leave the stream just yet because I need to tell you some things before you go. Straight after this, I'll be on the Twitter. That's at @AllForUnited. I will be chatting shit as always, so make sure to come and join me. And I'll be tweeting Carabao Cup Champions of the World if we win this. No, not Carabao Cup. Energy Drink Champions of the World. That's what it is. So make sure to come and join us for the live tweet. Straight after that, I'll be on the post-match. I cannot remember who we have guests on. That's a bad thing to say. I believe it's Adam and Henry with potentially another guest. I don't know if they've confirmed. I won't say it yet, just in case they don't end up coming on. But I believe there's a big guest that's supposed to be coming on. So let's see if that happens. So make sure to come and join us for that. Final thoughts from me then before we go. United have every reason to believe they can win this game tonight. And under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I do not fear any big team that can come here and give us a game, because I think we can set up in a way that we can go and beat any team that comes against us. We've seen it already. There's not a team that we've played against that we go, there's no way we're going to beat these. We thought that with PSG, we beat them. We thought that with City twice last season, we beat them. We thought that with Liverpool, we drew with them last season. We're about to play them at Anfield in a couple of weeks' time, potentially playing for top of the league. So we have every reason to be confident. We're in good form. We're playing some good football. Yes, we're missing some key players like Cavani, but we have a strong team tonight. Now, I don't know how that's going to be set up. I'd love it to be a diamond, but against City, that's probably not the smartest move. But it might turn into a diamond just because of how narrow Foden and Mahrez like to play. You never know. In terms of in possession, though, Paul Pogba is going to be a key player on that left-hand side. I think he's going to bring all the creativity tonight. And I think if we can get him playing, strutting his stuff, we can have a good game. And as well, Bruno Fernandes, if there's a ball in the box, fall over, we're going to get a penalty. That is what happens today. I want to see Jose Mourinho have an absolute meltdown as we get into a final against him, winning with a penalty. Or in fact, let's just take it to a penalty shootout without good at penalties. We'll just have Bruno take all 5 pens. Sound. That's not legal. But no, in all seriousness, we can win this game. Our midfield is strong enough to do it. I like McTominay and Fred playing together. I think that's a great partnership, especially against the big games like this. In the big games like this. And I think we can do a job on City. Martial's going to have to be on it. He's looked a little low on confidence recently. However, he is picking up a bit of form, and I think that'll help him. I'd like to see him score tonight, and I think he might do that. But there's always that thing. We've not won one of these games in a long time. These semi-finals. We reached 3 semi-finals last season. We were a bit short, weren't we? Will we win? Probably. Can we win? Definitely. Should we win? Yeah. can, should, would. They're all the same things. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. All I'm saying is United are going to win, hopefully. I'm nervous. I'm also not nervous. You know me. I'll be overconfident until about 5 minutes before kickoff, and then I'll go, we're about to get spanked 6-1. We've just hit the 20 like target, so thank you all of you legends. Make sure to keep liking if you haven't liked already. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to go to twitter.com/AllForUnited and make sure to follow us over there. And as always, we are going to be in a title charge. But before that, we are one game away from being in the final, which is then another game away from being energy drink champions of the world. Here we go. Let's hope for United win. I'm going to go for a 3-1 United win with a hat-trick of penalties from Bruno Fernandes. Let's wait for the meltdown. Play that music. That's it. Let's do it. In a bit, boys.